right. So let me digress a little bit. Let me back up. One of the reasons why I think we all know that recruiting, it's another way of being able to put your business building on cruise control. It's how you leverage your time. But the other thing you have to consider is that, sometimes life gets in the way. We're all insurance agents. We know the statistics. Sometimes we end up dealing with a sick loved one, or we have a natural disaster. We have things go on in Florida. We have things go on in Texas, two places in which we got insurance agents. You have a number of things that happen that could be able to impede your ability to produce. You may be going through a crisis, whatever that might be. When you have a team in place, it is the ultimate way that you can continue building your agency and stimulating a passive residual income, whether you're dealing with your company directly or indirectly. And that's what the recruiting does. So we're gonna talk about the processes. Now we got a new training that's coming out for the recruiting. I'm going to be talking a little bit about that today. But hopefully I should be able to launch this new training course for recruiting later on today sometime. Are you guys able to log into the share screen at all?
Yeah, I'm on.
Yeah, I'm on.
Everybody? Okay, good. Yasmin, are you following along too?
I am.
Okay, good. All right, what you guys will see is in that training course, you'll be able to click on the link. It's going to bring you to healthcare.gov. The site that I'm on right now is how you can look up the agent directory by state. Now, you can actually do this by county. You can be able to do it by the entire state. So let's say if I'm going to be looking at on our list, there are 31 states that are in the FFM. And so you're going to see the way in which we're going to be able to access the agent directory and download the contact information. It's going to be the same for all of these states that you guys see here, all 31. Now, just got to keep in mind there's 8 states in which you can be able to get compensated out of, but you guys can recruit anywhere in the United States, including New York. So just understand that the FFM site that we're going over right now, we're going to be giving you instructions on this site because we're most familiar with it. If you're going to be dealing with a state-based exchange, their configuration for their agent directory may be different. So I just need to give you a little heads up. But coming in, you will see from the agent directory site, I'm just going to plug in Texas. And you'll see what's going to happen. Oh, excuse me. You'll see what it'll do is it'll bring up cities that may have that name, but you're going to skip past all of that. You're just going to select the actual state, and then you're going to click Continue. What it's going to do is going to bring you to the agent directory. Now, it's got filters in here. It's also going to include assisters. And you want to remove that out, so you're just looking at agents and brokers. So as you can see, for the entire state of Texas, there's 4,721 active agents. These are all registered and active agents on healthcare.gov. Now, why no one should have a problem with us reaching out to them, because the reason that they're here is so that they can be able to aid the business community, consumers at large, in acquiring a policy and helping them with getting a policy on healthcare.gov. Well, what we're doing is we're helping them stimulate more business. See, because a lot of these agents that have come here and they're on the exchanges, they feel that, okay, well, it's like the field of dreams. If they build it, they will come. I'm telling you right now, consumers are not accessing this site to be able to find insurance agents. It just doesn't happen. And the second thing is just lazy marketing. We have to find a way to be able to go out and bring clients to us. And that's what we're trying to show these insurance agents how to do. All right, so as you can see, they've configured their site a little different now. I'm going to scroll down, and you'll begin to see the contacts. You'll see something that says download contact, and what you want to do is you're just going to click on that download contact, and this is going to send a D card or something which is called a VCF file to your desktop, and you just want to go down. Now, I can tell you guys, downloading from this site, I did 4,700 records for Texas. It took me about 6 hours. to do that, off and on. It was total about 6 hours. It goes pretty quick. It's much faster than Reference USA. Reference USA takes time to transition between pages. It's much slower download. This here goes really quick. You can do 100 records in less than 10 minutes. That's how fast you can be able to download from here. And here's the other wonderful thing. When you're recruiting, it's absolutely free. There's no cost. It's just an investment of time. The things that you see that I'm doing here now, as you're scrolling down and you're just downloading your records, that's all you got to do. Once you download your record, you're going to have, excuse me, you're going to have thousands of records that's going to show up in your download folder with these VCF files. Now, this is where you guys are going to need an additional software. This software is called vCard Wizard Pro. And I'll get that up here on my screen. This vCard is going to simplify your life concerning converting the data now from a vCard to a contact. Typically, when you're utilizing this, you can be able to pull it into your Microsoft Outlook. So you have to have a couple of applications installed on your desktop in order to be able to utilize this particular program. But it is going to speed up the migration of data 110%. Now this program, it's scalable. So they offer you a trial evaluation. That trial, it doesn't time out or anything like it. It doesn't expire. But it only allows you to be able to do 5 records at a time. That's still very low, concerning the amount of contacts that, we're downloading. If you did the full-blown software package, it's only $29. So that's less than a dinner and a movie out. That it's going to speed up your ability to migrate this data over. You're going to see that once you download, you're going to have that software on your desktop. And this is what that software is going to look like. As you can see, there's different applications. We have the vCard. So you're going to be doing transferring it or converting it from the vCard. Now they do give you an option where you can be able to convert it to a CSV, or you can spreadsheet it right away. I don't recommend that you even do that. You're going to see that in our training. Reason being is that it doesn't know how to map the data field. So when it does that, it's skewed all over the place. What you want to do is, once you get all your records downloaded, excuse me. Once you get it downloaded, you want to be able to pull it into your Microsoft Outlook. So as you can see, I'm going to go to my download folder, and this is where all of my records, my VCF files are located. I'm just going to click OK, and then what it's going to do is it's going to sync my account. It's going to pull all of my VCF files in. Depending on how many records you have, could take a little bit of time. So I'm going to move on, and I'm going to talk about, it's going to take a minute for that to download. I'm going to come back to it in a second so you guys can see how that vCard can migrate all of your data over. But one of the things is the disconnect with, why agents are not recruiting, why it doesn't happen. We already know the rationale behind it. It's just conventional wisdom to recruit and build a team. It's a leadership movement, but it's another way of being able to put your business building on cruise control. So why doesn't agents do it? And I'm going to tell you why. One of the reasons is a knowledge base. A couple of different things. Presenting the opportunity. We're going to talk about that right now. When you start running your campaigns, I'm not going to get into configuring your email campaigns. There's a whole lesson for that. What I wanted to do is just show you guys how easy and simple it is to just download these contacts and then migrate this into your Outlook. And then you're going to be able to put this into a CSV file, so you can begin to upload this data or your list into MailChimp. It's just that simple. That's how simple it is. Okay. After you get that piece done, what happens next? Well, you're going to get way more response from insurance agents than you do when you're doing for account acquisition. And I'm just going to tell you, because when you're dealing with businesses, it's a little bit slower. We're working in windows. You know, we got 2-week windows. We got to get it closed on the 15th before it goes in effect on the 1st for the next month. You know, you got renewal windows because these companies, they're waiting for open enrollment for their company. You know, so, and then you're looking at the carrier. You know, they're billing 30 days in arrears. So it takes a while before you see that first paycheck. But even though you're snowballing, you know, it takes a little time to start seeing that money roll in from doing the group. When you're doing recruiting, it's almost instantaneous. And you can have an agent in one part of the country and another in another part of the country. You can have a national team in a matter of days, in a matter of, you know, minutes. It doesn't take very long at all. And that's what we're going to get into right now. So, let me see, going back to my, just going to check the status of that program. All right, so as you guys can see, it's pulled in all of my data. So that's all 4,000 and plus records and some odd number. You can see that I have my Microsoft Outlook. So this is what I want to be able to pull my data into that Microsoft Outlook. Let me show you guys how simple this is. I'm just going to select that button and I'm going to click Next. And so it wants to confirm that I'm sending it to Outlook. So I'm going to click Next again. And then you're just going to transfer your data. Now what you guys are going to see is you're going to see that it's in progress and it's currently, you can see how fast that's moving. It's whipping through those records and it's sending all of that data. Now right now, if I go and I pull in my Outlook, let me just go ahead and get that up here. You know, it's pulling in all of my records into my account right now. Now this was blank. I had no contacts in here just a few minutes ago. As you can see, it's pulling in all of those records. So going back to that vCard Wizard Pro, you can see it's doing 4,813 records. Now, if you got duplicates in there, you don't have to worry. It's going to scrub out your duplicates. So you're just going to be working with single individual records when it's all said and done. Once it gets into our Outlook, then that's going to be the next step. We're going to be able to export all of our data, all of our contacts out to a CSV. That's how it's going to map the data field so that we can begin to upload that into MailChimp. So all this stuff is pretty quick. You're just going to do a lot of this data migration from your desktop. But once you guys get this done and into your MailChimp, you're going to be managing it from your smartphone, your mobile device. So once all of this is done, you're gonna do all of the original compiling and data migration from your desktop. Once that's done, you're going to sync your MailChimp account to your smartphone, and you're going to manage all of this from just like you're going to do with your accounts. No different. No different. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get onto the site. Let's talk about what happens when agents begin to contact you. And it will happen. You know, agents are going to get back with you, and they're going to inquire about what is this company all about. You're going to see that we have an email list. When you guys go to do the training, that email list that we have that goes out, or that email script that goes out, it's compelling. It addresses all the concerns that's going on with independent agents right now. It's in there. And it is designed, and it's got, which we'll get into that in a little bit, it's got the Forever Free promo code that's built in. It's also built onto the site. So let's talk about the disconnect, why agents don't recruit, and it's just knowledge-based. It's not understanding how to present the opportunity to insurance agents when they contact you. First of all, you know, we don't, I encourage all of the agents that are associated with IAU that we're not out to try to convince anybody to join our team or our community. If you have to chase somebody to get them here, you're going to constantly chase them to stay here. And you're going to have to also chase them to try to produce for you. It's just not worth it. I always say that we're all adults, we're all big kids. We're going to make our own decisions. All we're doing is presenting, and that's what this website. Right from the front end, once you get on the website, you'll see that it's aesthetically beautiful. It just, higher quality of life that can be obtained. This is a six-figure opportunity if you understood what you have. So if somebody can't take the time to review this, then chances are they're not going to be able to take the time to even be able to do the work to be successful at it. The first and foremost is when you have them, you're going to have them go to the site, and we have an online webinar. That online webinar is explaining everything concerning our community, our opportunity from A to Z. So you always want to direct them to InsuranceAgentsUnited.com, and you're just going to direct them to the webinar. You don't want to get into a big discussion about what it is. That's not what we do. The tools that we've created, they're here. And everything that you have, these are aiding in the recruiting of your agents into your organization. This is a 15-minute, a little under 15-minute presentation that's going to explain everything from A to Z. If they still have questions, we have something which is called our community. Our community website is, again, it's another selling tool. Talk about the telesell. We have a team of people here that follow up on the calls. So, talks about the license, talk about the life and health, the outlook and forecast of our industry. Talks about the states that we service. Talk about the concept, how we came from an idea to a movement, because now, we're in all of these states, and how we ramped up real quick. So all this information is prominent right here on this community page. The other thing is that you're going to have some additional tools in your arsenal. From the community drop-down, you'll see that we have our mission, we have our journey, and we have something which is called our strength in numbers compensation. This gives another, the compensation is really compelling. It just gives agents another idea about the kind of income that you can make from our opportunity. So you can take them here. All of these sites for the mission, the journey, and the strength in numbers has a join now. If they're still not ready, again, they can be able to go to that comprehensive frequently asked questions. All of these are here so you don't have to be an expert concerning all things with IAU. All of the questions are there on the frequently asked questions. So if the community, the webinar, the frequently asked questions, if that doesn't do it for them and they still got something that's not listed there, you can always get in contact with me and we can do a three-way call. But I'm telling you, the majority of the questions are on this website. You're just going to present it. And I'm telling you, don't even get into a discussion until they look these things over, because they've got to draw their own conclusion. They're going to bring their own fuel. The vehicles that we have in place, they just basically got to get in and drive. Everything is turnkey. You guys don't have to do any of the payroll. You don't have to do the training. It's a self-paced turnkey training system that we have in place. Everything is completely automated from the time that, they sign up. So let's talk about the onboarding process for new agents. So from that main site, you'll see that there is a join now. And so what you guys got to understand that everyone that is affiliated with our community right now, our company, came as a result of an email. They opened it up. So we recruit virtually. We build our customer acquisition virtually. We do everything virtually. We meet in cyberspace, so that we don't have to do everything physically. This is how we leverage our time, energy, and our resources. So what you're going to do is you're going to have those agents click on that Join Now. And this is very important because you're going to see that down here at the bottom, you're going to let them know that we're going to provide a code to them that's going to bypass the payment gateway. So you'll see that it's still like zero now in 1995. Again, that 1995 is still intact. It hasn't gone anywhere. The way to circumvent that now is you're basically going to let them know we're going to provide you an opportunity. We're giving you the CRM. You're having access to databases. We're going to give you the training. All that stuff costs us money. We're giving that away free for 1 year right now. So this is all designed around recruiting efforts so that you guys can start doing some team building. All right, so you'll see once you come in where the membership checkout, once you click on that select button, You're just simply going to have them highlight that code and right-click it, and you're going to have them click on this link that says, if you have a discount code, enter that code here. And so you'll see where there's a field that's going to pop up where they can be able to put that discount code, and you're going to click apply. Once they do that, that's automatically bypassing the gateway. So it's not going to take them through PayPal or anything. As a matter of fact, when they fill in and put their login credentials, and they're going to put in and confirm their email address, there's a checkout button. They're going to click that checkout button. It's automatically going to bring them into their ABC. It's going to bring them to the account building page. And this is where, very important, you want to make certain that they're going to put in your sponsor name, your name, and your agent ID. When they fill in their information, that's their W-9. This is what makes everyone a 1099 of Insurance Agents United. This is why you don't have to have an errors and omission. You don't have to have shop certification. You get to manage the account. We enroll, we do all of that. You just manage the account. It's very important that you make sure that they fill out their information and they hit that submit button. Once they do that, they're going to get their terms of service agreement. They're going to get their standard of policies. They're going to get all of that sent to them right away. So that's completely automated. What you're going to do is bring them back, and you're going to say, click on that Get Started button. So on that ABC page, there's going to be a Get Started. That's the orientation that everyone needs to go through. So it's going to give them some additional instruction, and it's going to tell them to start their IAU Master Marketing Pro cohort. That's it, guys. That's how simple it is. You don't have to do anything. No chasing. No chasing. You know, if you're here and you guys are getting on this call this morning, you know, the people that are interested, they're going to do the same thing. You will know them by their words. You know, if they're checked out, they're doing other stuff, they're preoccupied, they're not paying attention, don't worry about it. And I'm going to tell you guys something else. This has just been from my own experience, and I'm going to pass this on, but it's going to spare you guys a lot of heartache in the long run when you start doing some recruiting. You're going to have about 20% of your agents are going to be about 80 or 90% of your production. Everybody is not going to produce when they come into your organization. A good majority of them are not. And for whatever reasons, like I mentioned before, life gets in the way. And so if you know that you can't take the time to do your business building, then you really need to be, if you can't go out and do account acquisition, you definitely need to be recruiting. One or the other, nice if you do both, but, you know, you should be doing, you know, one or the other. But just to do nothing. So here's it is. It's a litmus test. As to your fortitude, as to what you want to bring away from this opportunity. Don't use the activity from our agent community as a barometer for your success. Don't pay attention to what other agents are doing. What you do is you define and you focus on, like, this is how much I want to do. I'm going to do 5 minutes a day. Get the most out of that 5 minutes. Whether it's an hour, half an hour, whatever it is. Invest the time to be successful in what you do. That's the key ingredient for success. It's consistency. So whatever it is, a little or a lot, just as long as you're doing it and you're pursuing, you're going to be successful on some level. All right, so now we're going to go back. Let's take a look at our information. So now our VCard Pro has moved all our data out to our Outlook. And so you'll see that it's going to give you a notification just saying that all of the contacts have been completed, transfers have been completed. And so once you close that out, it just closes out the whole entire program. But now what I can do is I'm going to go and I'm going to open up my Outlook, and you can see that all of our contacts are listed there. The next thing that we want to do now is we want to be able to export. So I'm going to come down to my file. And don't worry if you guys don't have Outlook, you know, iCloud, there's some other applications that you can be able to download for free and still utilize the same concept. You're just going to do it. You're going to follow these steps. So, and our training is going to give you these step-by-step instructions to be able to manage all this data. But like I said, once you put this into your MailChimp, it's going to be on cruise control. At that point, you're going to be able to manage all of your campaigns right from your smartphone. All right, so you're going to see that it's going to bring up where it's saying, I want to export to a file. We're going to click Next. You will see that it says comma separated values. There's one for DOS and there's one for Windows. It doesn't matter. You can do it either DOS or Windows. You click Next. And it's looking for some place to be able to export it to. So if you have a folder on your desktop, it's a good idea to create a contacts folder. And so now what it's doing is it's going to migrate all of that data into a spreadsheet file, into a CSV. And it's going to put that in that file folder. All right, so now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up that file. Bear with me here just a second, guys. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. So as you can see, I have my Texas Agents file. This is the one that we just downloaded from our Microsoft Outlook. This is the next intro. You guys are going to learn this in your training, but there's certain captive agents we're going to pull out of our list. First of all, what you want to do is you want to get rid of these excessive data fields. So you'll see that you're going to take out everything except the name. So you want to delete those columns. You're going to see like department name and all of this other stuff. You're just going to go ahead and highlight all of those other data fields, everything except the name and the email address. If you want to keep the phone number and their addresses, you can do that. I recommend that you do on your master sheet. It just helps when following up with these agents. So sometimes, you might be playing, you can't get a hold of them. There might be kind of playing tag back and forth with your emails. You can pick up the phone, give them a call, and just say, "Hey, John, this is Eric with Insurance Agents United. I see that, just to be able to bridge the communication gap, I just want to pick up the phone, give you a call, just kind of give you a little bit more information about what we're doing. We have a free promo right now where it's free forever. There is typically a cost associated with our community. Right now, we have a narrow window to be able to bring new onboarding agents at no cost. But first, before you even consider that, I just want to be able to explain what we're doing so you have an understanding, so you'll know what this is all about. Do you have a few minutes, or would you like me to schedule? And then that's when your VC to calendar is going to come into play. If they say, no, let's schedule it, you're going to put them on the calendar. But anyhow, now this is where you want to be able to remove out all those excessive data fields. And you want to take all of this out. Now, I'm not going to go through all of that. You get the idea. The next thing is that after you've cleaned up this list, you want to get rid of all of your Allstate, State Farm, Farm Bureau. You want to get rid of the big three. There are some other honorable mentions that I will tell you. There's a list that you're going to see. You'll see something that's called Health Markets, Primerica, New York Life. You'll see Liberty Tax. You're going to see something that's called MyHIST. These are other captive agent type organizations. Primerica, Aflac. If you want to leave them in, you can, but I'm going to just tell you my experience. Is that when you're dealing with an MLM type entity, because you would think they're dealing with businesses, they're dealing with groups, that, this would just be another overlay to generate additional revenue streams for them. That's not the case. Those companies, they got their own internal processes for how they do things. They don't necessarily coincide with what we do. So you might have an agent from Primerica or Aflac. Now, everybody's different. Sometimes you might get an Aflac person that comes in and say, to hell with everyone else, I'm doing my own thing. But I'm just telling you, they get a lot of internal pressure to do, follow their own guidelines. They don't want them doing anything outside of protocol for what they do inside of, Aflac or Primerica. So what happens is you see them phase out. So what we're looking for is independent agents, non-captive, guys that can see the value in what we're doing, and then we want to combine forces. Because typically with these types of agencies, they don't have a strong support system. And what we're trying to do is through a collaborative effort, we want to create that support system for each other. And so that's what we're doing. So you're going to go through your list. You want to make certain that you clean everything out. Once you do that, then you're going to take and you're going to cut and paste the names and the email addresses into another CSV file. And then you're going to upload that into your MailChimp. Just make certain that you're doing it in 2,000 increments because, again, the free forever account that you have with MailChimp, it's 2,000 subscribers. So you're just going to make certain that if you're going to be going aggressive, you're going to have 2 accounts for recruiting. But if you're just doing the standard recruiting, $2,000 a month is good. You're going to get about anywhere from 10 to maybe 20 agents in your organization with that alone, just with the 2,000. I guarantee it. You're going to get at least 10. I will tell you about 2 or 3 of them are actually going to work out. The rest are going to be inactive. You're just going to be hanging out. They'll sign up, but they won't do much. And then you're going to have about 2 or 3 of your agents going to be getting on calls like this, actually doing the work. You'll be able to go in and see your teams actually doing their coursework, going through completing assignments, getting work done, running their campaigns. You're going to have about 2 or 3 out of every 10, 2 or 3 is going to actually work out. That's the number. So just managing your expectation as to how, this is why if you need to have about 100 agents, just to have about, 10 or 20 of them actually working. And that's just that's the ratio. And that's how it works out. All right, so that really concludes our training. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. I think I covered a lot of information, but again, you guys are going to be getting an email later on today just talking about the agent recruiting is completed. And I would highly recommend just go in there and get the training. This is going to be another area you guys, and you can recruit around the country 24/7. Even in New York, wherever there's agents, you can recruit. Just know that, those state exchanges, their agent directory can be configured a little different. But, I would focus on the FFM states. There's a lot of them we have never recruited out of. So I would go after all 31 of those first because, you can just download them in a vCard format and just migrate that data out. Like I said, you're going to get that vCard Pro, and you're just going to migrate that into your Outlook, and then you're going to be able to download that to a spreadsheet. And like you said, you see here, you're going to have to manipulate that data a little bit. But once you get that into your MailChimp, you're going to go ahead and create your email campaign, and you're going to launch that out, and you're just going to wait for those agents, the ones who are interested, to get back with you, and they will. And again, some are going to sign up right away. Some of them may have questions, but that's how you're going to be able to put your business building on cruise control with recruiting. All right, so we're going to open it up. I apologize for my crackling voice, guys. Thanks for sticking through with me. But I'm going to go ahead and open it up for a Q&A. But prior to doing that, I'm going to have Jimmy Collins take the floor. He's just going to talk a little bit about his website on Google Places and some of the results that he's gotten from it. We create these tools to be able to drive additional business for you guys. So even if it's outside of Insurance Agents United, we're trying to drive traffic so that you guys can stimulate more business for your agency. So Jimmy, go ahead and take it away. Just tell everybody what your experiences have been with your website on Google Places.
Okay. Excuse me. I've been on Google Places for a while. I've been with Insurance Agents United for a while. And the other day, I got a call from a gentleman. He says, "Hi, my name is, blah, 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 blah. I'm looking for some life insurance." I said, "Okay." And he told me he's driving. I said, "Do me a favor. When you get back home, give me a call, blah, blah, blah." And I says, he says, "How about Saturday?" I said, "Oh, for Saturday morning would be great." He called me up on Saturday, and I said, "Yeah, you're looking for life insurance for what?" He says, "I'm looking for life insurance for my 2 children." I said, "Okay. Can I ask you where you got my name and number?" He said, "I have an insurance agent that I was dealing with that I could not contact. So I just Googled Insurance Agents United, and boom, your name and picture come up." He goes, "You look like a nice gentleman. You look like, not too many people, agents put their pictures up there. The website looked nice, and so I'd give you a call." So I went and said, okay. So I got him a quote from Equus Financial, because Mutual Roma has great children's policies, and I wrote him up. And I got the application is going to be going in probably Monday. Monday's the application is going to go in. So that produced an income for me, which I never even thought it would. So kudos for Eric for getting that all set up and everything like that. I just couldn't believe that. I mean, I called him up. I was eating at the time, and I was laughing my head off. I says, "Imagine that. It's going on 24/7, like he says, and I get a call out of the blue." That just blew my mind. It just blew my mind.
And Jimmy, the other nice thing is that, we teach you concepts to be able to promote that website, like getting the Google reviews. Like when that guy becomes a client, you can say, "Hey man, can you go on there and review my site?" What that does, the algorithms for Google, it pushes your ranking up higher. So when guys are organically, you know, you got the sponsored section of Google and then you got the organic. What it does is it pushes you up on that organic search engine. So I can't impress it. It's free. And I mean, and it's something that's going to drive more traffic, more business. I just can't impress it enough. We're in the digital age, guys. It's how we're going to make our money. People are online. You got to make certain that you're visible so that you can get some of that traffic now. Google is going to be an instrumental tool in doing that for us. All right. So kudos to you, Jimmy. I'm glad that you know you're following some of the instructions. And you know, with Mutual Omaha, you know, I think they pay like within 48 hours. So once that case closes, you'll be getting a nice little comp from them as well. So good job, man, and keep up the good work.
What I did, I had the policy, I had the paperwork for the policy. He gave me the information. It was in a PDF format, so I typed it up. I could type in the fields. I printed it out. He lives something like 70 miles away from me. I put it in a priority envelope, sent it to him. He called me that he got the envelope yesterday. I said, fill it all out. I put little stickies on it where he had to sign. I said, send it all back to me, signed with your banking information on it, everything. He said, I'll get that to you probably. I'll send it out back to you on Monday or Tuesdays. Great. So
Nice. Very good, Jimmy. Very good. All right, so that's what you can do. Go ahead.
I'm about to say, yeah, they have one of the better children whole life plans in the country.
Right, they sure do. You know, and you know, you'll find with Equus, they got a lot of arsenals in their man. They got a lot of arsenal in their back. You know, Foresters, and they got this other CGI, which is this Columbia Life Group, and you know, they got a lot of different carriers over there. They're doing some pretty crafty stuff, and Mutual Omaha is one of them. So the whole idea.
Phoenix got it. Yeah.
The Columbia Group is a free rider. It's return of
and the return of premium. Right? All you got to do is just check the box and they get it. You know, there's no additional premium, no per diem, nothing like it's just unheard of. And so you got an accidental death and dismemberment. You just build those riders right in at no cost. So it's things like that you're going to have in your arsenal, and it's just going to make people stand up. You guys are just going to sell more. The whole idea is to get you guys to start stimulating more business. So even if you can get a $200 or $300 pop coming in a month from things like that, and then eventually start growing your group accounts around all of that, it's just going to feel like you're swimming in money once it happens. But it takes time to develop, and that's what I'm doing right now. Is just setting the expectation that it's doable. It's very doable if you just follow suit with it. All right, so I'll open it up again. Anybody's got any questions for me before we wrap up?
Now that BC card thing that you can use, is that $29.95 for a whole year? Or is that per month?
That's $29 forever.
Okay, all right. Okay.
It's a one-time cost for that software.
And Eric, are you also sending a sample email for recruiting?
I am.
The email that you send us later?
Yeah, it's in the training. So you can, when you get that notice, I'm wrapping up the training right now, and I'm telling you, it's really slick. You guys are really going to like it. It's just going to put your business building on cruise control. The only work, as I mentioned before, is just going to be an investment of time with, managing the data. But once you get that list together, it's going to be cruise control. You're going to be managing all of that from your smartphone after you get it uploaded. I recommend that you guys need to have 3 MailChimp accounts because it does allow you from your phone to switch accounts. And so you'll be able to manage whether you're doing a large group or, the ACA program, and then you're recruiting. So if you got all 3 of those running at the same time, I'm just telling you, you're going to up the ante in terms of your results that you're going to be able to get. Now, something else I was going to mention is that, I got a call the other day from an agent, and this is a seasoned agent. And, I get questions all the time about SHOP going away. I heard Blue Cross is telling me SHOP is going away. And I just drop my head when I hear that. I'm just like, really? Really? I think we covered that already. But what happens, and this is what I meant before, if you don't have roots in what we're doing, if your feet are not firmly planted in the ground with like the SHOP solutions, with the group solutions that we got going on, you're going to be easily swayed. The slightest wind that comes and blows, it's gonna knock you over. And if you're paying attention to what's going on, you'll understand that shop isn't going anywhere. What they did is the CMS, and we got a blog right on our website that talks about. So if anybody's questioning about, you can take them to that blog. You click on that blog, you pull up the article, you say this is directly from CMS.gov. They did us a favor. They created more flexibility for us to be able to do account acquisition with the SHOP program. Because now we don't have to have them sign up all this stuff on healthcare.gov. We just give them a census form and they get it back to us. That's all. So now the carriers, all they have to do, they can be off exchange. They don't have to be on exchange anymore. All they need to have is ACA rates. So if a company calls up and say, I want to get a group account, they're going to give them traditional rates. If you don't ask for ACA rates, you don't get the break. So you have to get ACA. See, this is the part that agents don't understand. This is why we can position ourselves in a way that we can just, knock the competition out completely. So I should never be getting questions like that from an agent because we've covered that enough that, the SHOP program isn't going anywhere. It's embedded in the IRS tax code. It takes an act of Congress to undo it. It's not going anywhere. It's not a subsidy that can just have an executive order and be written and undo it. So I want everyone to be confident when you're talking to an agent to let them know, that's not true. When they're trying to tell you, that SHOP program, you're going to be like, no, that's not true. That's not the case. And they're going to be like, you're going to say, let me take you, you got a few minutes, let me take you to this article. And you guys can go to InsuranceAgentsUnited.com and click right on that blog post, and you'll open up that article, and then right at the bottom, you can click the PDF, and it's the actual PDF notification that went out to all the agents. So there's no question. Absolutely. All right, so anyone else got any questions for me before we wrap up?
Yeah, I had a little concern about when I was setting up that VCETA, and then you had us do that website thing. What really got me when I had to do the copy and paste, and then I put that back on I didn't know where to put it on my website.
Yeah, on your website, if you go through your website training, there's a profile web development training. It'll give you instruction. I think it's like a 6-step course, but it'll give you instructions on how to be able to integrate your calendar into your website. So it's just that when you're doing your email campaigns, you can connect your website too. It's another, like all these landmines, they all drive back to you. That's what that website does. So they can click on your schedule appointment button and they can schedule with you right now. So that's all that does is you can put the link. It'll give you instructions on how to take and put that link into that schedule appointment button, and that's it. And it's a little bit of HTML coding, but we try to give you some explicit instructions on how to do that. But if you ever get held up, Mike, just reach out to me, and I can walk through that. So rather than you spending hours trying to figure it out, call me. I can get it done in 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All
right, guys.
I have filled out that little form in training for Equus, but I haven't received anything. Am I supposed to be doing something?
Well, they should be sending you some additional instructions to certify for your AML. It's an anti-money laundering certification. But they have. I think they got one through Reg Ed and one through LIMRA, and I think they got like their own sources for the certification that has to be done. It's free. There's no cost associated with it. I think Mike McGrew can even tell you he went through it already. And Jimmy went through it. So all the guys that are on here right now, they kind of went through that process. But you gotta do their certification for their AML. And then once you do that, you'll log in your Equus portal. There's an EF number, like an alphanumeric number that they give you. And you can log in and track your progress. So then you're gonna contract with all of these different carriers. And you're gonna be submitting paperwork over for each one of them. And so that's how you're gonna have all these different carriers in your warehouse.
Okay.
Okay, but
I went ahead and filled in that I was interested, but I wanted to know how do I let them know I'm connected to
Yeah. Okay.
insurance.
Good. Okay. If they should have provided you your Equus number, your login portal. You should have gotten your, it's like an EF, some 6-digit numeric number. You should have gotten that already. If you haven't, go back and check it. You should be getting some stuff coming in, and one of them, your login credentials for your. That's the first thing, because you can't even contract until they set up your broker portal. When you log in your broker portal, there's like an icon. There's like a chat icon down there at the bottom. You would click on that, it'll open up a chat tool, and you're just going to, you're going to submit a request to Equus and just say, what's the status of my appointment at, thus far. And they'll get back with you, and they'll let you know if there's some additional things that they need.
Yeah, I know. I noticed.
Go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna say, well, I noticed once I put mine in, it took a couple of days for them to get back with me. And then all of a sudden I got an email with contact number on there and everything.
Right. It sure does. It does.
And it's been over a week now, and I've gotten nothing. So maybe I've done something incorrectly.
So you might need to chat then. Yeah, chat them. Yeah, if it's been that long. It didn't take me that long. Yeah.
Yeah, but today, I guess tonight, if you could do it tonight, they said something like, I don't know, I got an email from them saying that their website is going to be down until tomorrow morning.
Correct. Yeah, I got that
doing
too.
a lot of updates. Yeah.
Right, I did too. But what I'll do, Yasmin, is I'll submit an inquiry on your behalf, and just so that somebody could follow up with you if there's still some additional things you need to do. So I'll log into my back office tonight, and I'll see to it that we can get somebody in contact with you. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you again for making the call and dealing with my raspy voice. I appreciate you. You guys go out, have a great day, and enjoy your weekend.
Okay, get some Theraflu. That's the good stuff, Theraflu.
Yeah, I got to do something, man. I got to try to knock this little bug off. I appreciate it. Thanks, Jimmy.
Go the old school way. Go the old school way. That good old whiskey.
Yeah, hot toddy. Yeah, I'm gonna give me a hot toddy. You got that right.
Yeah, hot toddy. Let's do it.
Yeah, you got it. All right, guys. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.